hello. We just wanted to congratulate you on your new baby. We're so excited for you and your family and to welcome that new little baby into the Remix family. We just want you to know that we are here for you. We know that it's exciting to be a new mom. It can be tough, it can be tiring, but we're here to help. And we just want to give you a few tips that will really help you throughout this whole process. And you want to start off?
Sure. Yeah. So the first question is, when can I start working out again? So first things first, it's important to talk to your doctor because every pregnancy is different, and every labor and delivery is different as well. So definitely talk to your doctor first. But the ACOG, which is the American College of, I think I said council in the last video, but it's College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, they recommend that now you go, whenever you feel ready, that's when you can get back to exercise. They recently,
which I think is really important.
Yeah, they recently changed it. It used to be 6 weeks, it used to be 8 weeks if you had a C-section, and they're realizing that exercise is so important for your mental health, and motherhood can be a really challenging, new motherhood can be a really challenging time for new moms, especially with mental health is concerned and postpartum depression. So they're saying if you can get that movement in and it's good for you, then they recommend it. But again, you have to talk to your doctor first.
Yes. And what kind of movement does that mean? So we often say this, you don't want to be all or nothing, and that is definitely, what I think is the recommendation here. ACOG says, to ease in. So you want to add exercise in, but you want to ease in. So you're not going to go from 0 to 60. You're not going to come in and just do a completely intense, HIIT workout. But what it can look like is, going for a walk, doing a class that is, a level 1. So you can either press play or come into class. Also if you're at home, which is really nice, doing one of the virtual options, you can even just do a piece of it,
right,
just to ease back in. But really, take your time, easing yourself, listening to your body is super important. As you come back from having a baby. We say this often, but just like listening to your body is super important.
Yeah. And then the next question is, what are the 3 exercises that I can do immediately after giving birth, which is really cool. There's 3 exercises that are really good for you that you should do before birth and then right after. First one is a pelvic floor lift. So if you're thinking about the core, you usually think about it like a box. I'm doing my hand motions. The top is your diaphragm, and then you've got the sides, the obliques, you have the rectus abdominis on the front, the transverse abdominis is in the inside, and at the bottom is your pelvic floor. And if you think about it like a sheet of paper, what you can do is you can practice with your breathing. Since the diaphragm's on the top, you want to take a nice inhale, and you're not going to be able to see what's happening, but think about like pulling that bottom pelvic floor up, like you're taking the corners and pulling them in, and you're like sucking your core in and pulling it up, kind of like it's a lift. Are you doing it? Yeah. Though if you're like moving, then that's not really what you're doing. You're supposed to not be able to see you doing it. Yeah. So those are great to do. The second one is a chest stretch, which, as a new mom, think about it. You're hunched over all the time.
Yeah.
With your feet
I feel like
your
picking
bottom
them up, and you're always like this.
Yeah, so it's a lot of this.
Yeah.
So opening up your chest, you can do just these. You can go against a wall. You can't see it, but you can go against a wall.
Oh, I love those when like a wall's up here and you just like open.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, if we go like this.
You can grab.
There you go. So,
you can grab your partner.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cute. All right.
We're adorable.
That's cute. All right.
At least you're laughing.
They're at home like,
Yeah. Is there a third one or no?
There is a third one. Okay, and then the final one is engaging that transverse abdominis, that inner core. So you want to think about it, that inner core is your body's natural corset. So when you think about engaging it, you take a nice inhale through your nose, and then exhale, squeeze it up and in. This is where you could see, especially if you're pregnant, you would really be able to see them lift the baby up.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of engaging that corset. And something you want to think about, really you should be engaging it like 60% of the day.
Yeah, I say this all the time, like in class or after class. I'm like, actually, you're working your core as much as possible during the day. But the more control you have over it, the more that you're sucking in and like keeping that control. You're literally working it all the time.
Exactly.
And if you just let it release, it's going to like feel like, oh, that's the comfortable way. Versus if you have it engaged, you're literally working your core muscles
And especially with people, if
great
you
for
have
your
back
back.
issues,
Yes.
especially new mom, like how many of us have back issues
Yeah.
as new moms? So that is just really important. Something like a little tip is anytime you're changing your new baby, changing their diaper, engage your core and just think
I
about
love that.
Because then you do it often.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
I mean, even like just
Do it all
you
the
think
time.
about it, but like if you engage your core when you're lifting them up,
Yeah.
because a lot of you'll start feeling it in your back.
Yeah.
It's just so important. It really like focuses on the whole body.
Yeah, true.
So exercises to avoid.
Okay.
So we often find that there's a separation in our abdomen because what's happening is your belly is expanding to let the baby grow. So you just want to avoid exacerbating that expansion or that separation. So what you really want to do is less oblique work, less side to side, like no twisting, just more so really engaging is really important. And then the other thing is you want to pay attention to any coning. So what will happen is it starts coming in, you don't want it to come up. I feel like I'm getting like the hand motions like you.
I know.
So
do you want me to do it?
if you start to see that, you really want to focus on your inner core. So, anytime we're doing, like I always say, like if we're doing a crunch, if you start to feel that coning, the idea is just to suck in and really engage your core. That's the focus. So this way, it comes back in the separation, really just aligns properly versus you start seeing that coning. You just want to try to avoid that.
That's true.
So those are the two main things you really want to pay attention to.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. As new moms, that's not like we don't do oblique work. I mean, we're twisting and turning all the time. Like it's fine if you have to twist and turn and put the baby away. It's more like the weighted stuff and anything. You know what I mean? When you're putting like the bicycles, all that kind of stuff is too much.
And honestly, if you ever feel like if you start seeing that, just suck in, engage your core. You could literally be here. Like right now, I'm working my core and I'm having a conversation.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the last question is. Do you remember? Let me see. Oh! How could I forget this one? What is normal when it comes to peeing in your pants?
Oh yeah. If we were teaching class right now, I would have remembered immediately. No.
So one thing that can help with that, since that is something that can happen, because think about it, the baby is right there on that muscle. It's a lot of weight, especially as your belly gets bigger and bigger. So it's a lot of weight, a lot of pressure on there. So one thing that we can do is the things we just said. Those pelvic floor lifts will really help a lot. So practicing them, doing those, as often as you can to work that muscle will really help. A sign that you probably should go see a physical therapist would be if you're still having issues about 4 months out postpartum. So it's always, I feel like it's always good. We have a great recommendation.
Too. So if you need one, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
She's really, really great, and she's funny too. So she'll be entertained.
Good.
And the main takeaway from this whole thing is to focus on two things. One, really your abdominal, like that's so important because you want to. Obviously, you just held a baby for 9 months or a little bit less, a little bit more. So just really important to focus on, making sure that all that comes back together and not overexerting yourself and just listening to your body. Motherhood can be tough, but we have been through it and we're here for you. We want you to always know that you have the support that you need, and any questions that you have, anything, we are here to help. And it's really nice to be around, other like-minded people, other mothers who have been in the same situation. So happy to answer any questions, but just make sure you take care of yourself, make yourself a priority. Our children, obviously are one of the greatest gifts ever, but it's also really, in order to take care of them, you need to take care of yourself. So that's what we're here for, and we're happy to help in any way.
All right.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Again. We'll see you in class.
Yes.